How are you doing? Hope you're feeling well. I know a lot of us are having to stay stuck inside at the moment. And me? Well, I'm about to batten down the hatches in the gaming room. Actually, you know what? I think we're a little overdue for a tour, aren't we? Why not? Hello fellow gamers, and welcome to my gaming room tour 2020. Come on in. Okay, well first of all let's just get the main display out of the way. It's a 1080p 32-inch Samsung HD TV. It only cost me 50 quid second hand. I've gone for this one because it's got a really good gaming mode with low lag. To be honest, I wanted to use my 42-inch 3D TV, but to be honest that had a pretty poor lag with the older consoles. Right beside it there is a smaller TV which I've got connected to my computer, so if you've seen my last gaming room tour from last year you'll know I've already got two monitors on there, so this is the third monitor. I use it mainly for observing recordings that I'm doing while I'm playing games, or hopefully for using it for streaming when I get around to doing that properly. Now for the sound aspect of it I use my trusty old Sony Micro Hi-Fi. Now I don't know what the situation is like today, but I know that older Sony Hi-Fis had great sound quality, so I've gone for this one. I've had it for years, it's compact, I'm familiar with how it works, and it sounds great. And at the end of the day, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now the two speakers I'm using, which are connected to my Hi-Fi, they are both mounted on the two shelves which I've got above my TVs. But that's not all I've got up there. I use the space on the shelves here to collect a whole bunch of odds and ends that I've collected over the years. There's a box here full of various different collectibles that I've gotten, such as a couple of the Mario Maker 2 styluses, Luigi's Mansion keychain, and you can see at the back there's the box there for the NES controllers for the Switch, which you can only get when you've got a Nintendo Online subscription. And who can forget Little Slimy? On the left hand side I've got a variety of different books, guides, art books, you name it, and a small tower of steelbooks as well. Just to the left here I've still got my 3D printer in place. I mainly use this for printing out replacement parts or for other various little projects I have going on. It's not the highest spec 3D printer, but it does me for now. The printer is sitting atop a stack of drawers which I keep various bits and bobs in. So for example in this drawer here I've got a series of portable gaming systems and the games that go with them. Further down I've got a few more games for those systems, Game Gear, Game Boy, that sort of thing, and a few accessories that I keep in plastic bags. A little further down I keep all of my spare controllers for all of the systems I have. Again, I keep all of these in bags because it keeps them dust free, it keeps all the cables together, and it just keeps everything together in the drawer as well. It's a lot easier getting anything out while they're all bagged up. And you know, whenever anyone comes round I'll dip into here and just get out the necessary controllers. Last of all on this side of the room is my pièce de résistance, my console collection. Other than the CD32 and that little Commodore 64 Mini that you can see in the bottom right, all of them are hooked up and ready to play. Last year I had all of this set up pretty much in a hurry, so back in August I went ahead and repositioned and moved everything around and rewired everything, so now it's a lot easier to manage. Everything is hooked up to the TV via a series of either HDMI or SCART switch boxes. And all I have to do is just press a couple of buttons and it's right there on the screen. Now you can see actually on here, there's still quite a bit of wiggle room, we can still fit a bit more in here, but to be honest, I am actually thinking of scaling this back a bit. So for example, the PlayStation 1 that I've got set up, there's really little need for me to have this set up when I've got a perfectly good PlayStation 2 set up and working. And if I want even better picture quality, I can always switch over to the PlayStation 3, which is also hooked up, although I wouldn't be able to, plug in my memory cards to continue my saves. There's also the NES and the SNES. I'm considering whether I should still have those hooked up, because I've got the NES and SNES classic HDMI consoles set up as well. They're both set up, they've both got all of the games that are in my collection and then some, so it makes me wonder whether I should have the original still on the shelf. On the other side of the room I've got two glass cabinets which stores my entire Amiibo collection. I've currently got over 180 Amiibo and I've organised them into all of their different series. So I've got here the Smash Brothers series and I've got everything for Legend of Zelda, everything for Mario, everything for Animal Crossing and Splatoon, amongst others. One of the glass cabinets has a shelf for a few more collectibles that I've collected over the years. You can see a few of them here, but to point out a couple, I've got a limited edition promo Nintendo Switch pin badge there, and also the Goodbye coin from Club Nintendo. Taking up most of the space on the opposite wall though is my gaming wall. Now, except for all of the games that I've got for the current generation of systems, pretty much all of my physical games are here adorning the wall. I only have about 1200 games in total in my collection, so I'm not a super big collector. It's typically just the games that I want to play. Though I do want to make a couple of changes to this wall here. Since we've got another generation of consoles just on the horizon, I think what I'm going to need to do is rearrange some of these and sort it out to make a bit of room. You're probably going to see my efforts in the background of many other future videos. At the top of the gaming wall, I've displayed a number of different boxes that I've picked up over the last few years. A couple of them are different this year. In addition to what I'd mentioned last year, I've also added a box for the Nintendo Switch Lite and the Australia and Europe exclusive Zelda Link's Awakening limited edition box. In the corner I've got my computer desk, which is out of the way, and it's where I do most of the work for the channel. As you can imagine, it's a computer desk, not really much will have changed. But recently I've gone through a couple of different microphone setups. You've probably heard the differences on my past videos. What I'm currently using is a condenser microphone on a microphone arm that I've got clipped to the side of the desk. This is handy for just doing voiceover recordings and also useful for streams because I can swing the arm around over to the sofa. Now, something else which has really bothered me about the room over the last year was just how much empty space I had above the computer desk. It was all just wasted. But not anymore, because I've got a couple of corner shelves screwed into the wall here, just above the desk. And I'm using them really to showcase a couple of the figurines that I've collected over the years. Something else that I've wanted to do in this gaming room is to put up some more pictures. Now, I do have a couple here. I've got the canvas from my brother and the signed poster of Mario Odyssey, but there was another canvas that I'd completely forgotten about. This is a photo of the Skull Kid statue that I got when I bought my Majora's Mask 3DS XL. This is a photo that I took myself actually of the statue, and I had it put onto canvas. Now, anyone who's an eagle-eyed viewer may have noticed while we've been going through this tour that I have a number of fresh coasters dotted about the place. In addition to the Pokemon ones I have, I've also got these NES cartridge themed coasters dotted around. These were a gift actually from my Secret Santa last year at work. Well, clearly they know me pretty well, and they've really come in useful. Now, like most gamers, not everything is confined to one room. In fact, I have another video gaming setup in my living room. It's quite modest down there really. I've got a PS4 Pro, another Switch and an Xbox One X down there. And this is also where I keep all of the current generation of games. However, I am trying to figure out how I can sort out my gaming wall so I can make room for all of these as well. One thing that I have changed down here is a little bit of quality of life change. So I've just gone ahead and tidied up the cabling that I've got for the PSVR that I've got sat on the top shelf, just so that the wire isn't trailing about everywhere. I'm using these micro Velcro strips which I bought in packs of 100 through Amazon. It's really easy to take off and put back on again, and I use them for all of my cabling, for various different video cables, for my controllers as well. It makes things so much easier. And to top it off, they're dirt cheap as well. I think it cost about a £5 I think for a pack of 100. Now, to finish off the tour, I've made just one other little change. I've installed a light strip on the back of the TV, and I've also added some coloured spotlights at the top, at the back of the gaming wall as well. Both of these can be controlled independently and help set the mood for whatever game we're playing. Now, I really like these. It's good having these lights set up and having the main light switched off while you're playing your game. It helps keep you focused, and it just looks cool. So there you have it, that was my gaming room. I mean, admittedly, not a lot has changed over the last year. I mean, mostly the changes I made were about quality of life changes in the background, to make the cabling easier to manage. There were a few more consoles since last year, and there's been an awful lot of rearranging of the gaming wall. But if you like what I've got here and you want a gaming room of your own, don't be put off. I mean, I'm in England, so houses aren't typically that big, and I've just worked with what I've got, and I'm sure you can too. So with that, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks very much for watching, and please leave a like or dislike depending on how you felt the video, and even subscribe and ring that notification bell, because, that's what all the crazy kids are doing these days. And more importantly, I hope you're staying safe. I'll catch you all next time.